Hi, I'm Dr. Backinger, and welcome to Summit Orthodontics. I am so excited that you're going to get to tour my office today and learn a little bit about the field that I absolutely love. So first we'll start off with a little bit of a tour and then go through the different types of technology and instruments that we use in the office. And then at the end I'll talk to you a little bit about my career path and the different careers that are involved in orthodontics. So what we do in orthodontics is not only get the teeth nice and straight for a beautiful smile, but we're also putting the teeth in the correct position so that the teeth and the jaws bite together properly and function together very nicely. And how we do that is by using either metal braces, clear ceramic braces, or plastic trays like Invisalign or similar companies to Invisalign, and we use those to push or pull the teeth gently into proper position so that they look nice and bite together so everything functions properly. So our office is completely digital, so that means all of our patients are saved on our computer system, and the software that we use is called Dolphin software. It's a mainly orthodontic software. Some oral surgeons use it. There are several different orthodontic softwares, but if you end up going into dental as opposed to ortho, they would have their own different dental softwares. So everybody's on the computer. So Dolphin is what we use, and it manages all of our patients. It also stores all of our images. So you can see here I can pull up an x-ray. This is a panoramic x-ray, typical x-ray that we use in the orthodontic office. And we're able to manage that from here. This is our beautiful digital x-ray machine that we use. This is the cephalometric portion of the x-ray machine, which takes a nice digital image that sends it right to the computer. And this is the panoramic portion of the machine that takes the panoramic x-ray for us. It's a Plan Mecha Pro Max machine. It's beautiful. However, it is only a 2D imaging software. There are 3D imaging softwares out there, and it used to be very difficult to be able to get one of those in the state of Michigan, but they are becoming more common. So in some offices they may have 3D CBCT machines. So with standard orthodontic records, we use the x-rays that we talked about previously, and we show intraoral and extraoral photos. And how we take the photos is we use this digital camera here and cheek retractors and mirrors to be able to get very nice images of what the teeth look like before, during, and after treatment. Basic tray setup that we use for almost all the patients that come into our office. So the first thing are the sunglasses. These are the safety glasses we have the patients wear. And in our office we use sunglasses because the majority of patients are children and they don't like the bright lights from the chair, so we use sunglasses. Next on the tray is a mirror. Helps me see upside down and backwards. Always really nice to have a nice clean mirror that doesn't have a lot of scratches on it. Allows me to see better. Next on the tray we have a hatchet. And other offices may use an explorer, like a cow horn or a shepherd's hook explorer, just something that's nice and pokey that allows us to be able to remove the colors off of the braces and then be able to take the wires out. This is a Mathau plier, or sometimes in our office we call it a hemostat, even though it's not a traditional hemostat. And this allows us to put the colors on the braces or do any of the steel ties that we need to do on the braces. This plier is a lid cutter. It is used to be able to cut things that are very small and very soft. It has nice pointy ends to it. Our bigger cutter is the distal end cutter, and this allows us to clip the back ends of the wires and clip the wires to the size that we need them to be. This is a tweed plier. It allows us to put bends in the wire. And the last plier here is what's considered a utility plier. There's all different various kinds of utility pliers that come by different names, but basically it's my big grabber, something that I can hold onto the wire if I need to push it or slide it somewhere. I use a utility plier to do that. So this is our banding bonding tray that we use to put both braces, brackets on, and bands on the teeth. Most of the instruments are the same for what's on our regular trays that we use, so I'll just go and review the additional items. All right, so first is our air water syringe that we can just snap on to be able to wet the teeth and dry the teeth as necessary, and our low speed suction. Then here, this is a band remover, so when we're fitting bands, we need to be able to take the bands on and off of the teeth so we get the correct size. Here's what's called a bite stick, so this allows us to use different corners of the bite stick to be able to push the band onto the tooth. And then once we have the bands of the correct size and we've taken them off using our band remover plier, we're able to mix the cement with a cement mixing spatula, and we use the cotton rolls to be able to wipe any of the excess cement off of the tooth. So when we put the bands on the teeth, so those are the bands that we put on the back molars and premolars, we use what's called a glass ionomer cement. And how we're able to do this is it's a powder and liquid ratio that we put on the mixing pad, and then we use our cement spatula to mix it up, and we fill it into the band and then slide the band on the tooth. So this is a band tray, and when we go to fit bands on the back teeth, every tooth is different shape, different sized. So the bands come in a variety of sizes. So what we have to do is get the nice right fitting band on the tooth, just like you need to get the right fitting shoe on a foot. So what we have here, if you want to see what one of these bands looks like, is basically it's a ring that's going to go around the tooth, and then there's a tube that's welded to the side of the band, which is what the wire is going to slide into and hold the wire to the tooth. So the type of glue that we use to cement the actual brackets onto the teeth, the system is very similar to when a dentist would be doing a composite filling. So first what you have to do is do a acid etch of the tooth, a phosphoric acid etch of the tooth, and then put a bonding agent over the top. And so nicely what we have from this company 3M Unitech is what's called an LPOP, and this is a self-etching primer. So what we're able to do is etch and put the bonding agent on in the same step. So we just use this little applicator here, paint it on the tooth where we're going to put the bracket, use a little bit of air just to thin it out, and then we can put the bracket right on top. We use the pliers here to grab onto the bracket, and then we use this Transbond glue, also from 3M. We squish that onto the back of the bracket and then put it onto the tooth and clean off the excess. So this is what's called a bracket pad setup. And so each of these individual brackets are specifically designed to go on each individual tooth. And so before we begin to put the braces on a patient, we make sure we have a pad set up like this, and then we just start from left to right, putting the braces on, top and bottom, and glue them onto the teeth. So in orthodontics, the main thing that's doing all the work is actually the wires. The braces, the brackets, the bands, they're just there to hold the wire attached to the tooth. And so we have all different types of wires that come in different shapes, different sizes, made out of different materials. There's flexible nickel titanium wires, there's incredibly stiff stainless steel wires. They range in size from 1/1600ths of an inch in a round wire all the way up to 21 by 25 hundredth of inches wires. Here we use varieties of springs to be able to make space and hold space. This is an example of some of the color attachments, the color ties that we use to hold the braces to the wire. And here's an example of some stretchy chain that we use to close spaces or rotate teeth. So now a little bit about me and my path to becoming an orthodontist. I grew up in Jackson, Michigan, graduated from Lumen Christi High School, went to Kalamazoo College for 4 years to get my bachelor's degree, Then went to Detroit Mercy School of Dentistry for 4 years to attain my DDS, Doctor of Dental Surgery. And then I did a residency program for 3 years at Rutgers University in their orthodontic department to get my orthodontic certificate. So if you're doing the math, that's 11 years after high school that I'd gone to school to be able to become an orthodontist. After I graduated, I moved back to Jackson and purchased 2 orthodontic practices, which I've then combined in this new space that I just built that was finished last year that we gave you a tour of. Choose your courage. So now I wanted to go through some of the different jobs that we have in the office that you potentially may be interested in. There is the front desk reception position, and we have 2 front desks in our office that do various different procedures. The sort of training that you would need for that, there really isn't anything required. There's no sort of certification to work at the front desk or do any sort of insurance filing. However, we do a lot of on-the-job training as well. There are some different courses you could take that would potentially improve your ability for working up front. You could take any business management courses, you could take any sort of insurance filing courses. They do have some courses out there that exist like that. But there is a certain skill set for a person to be working up at the front desk. And some of the main things are you like talking to people, you like being very interactive. It's a very social, welcoming, warm position. So that would definitely be a requirement for someone who would want to work at the front desk position. A semi-front desk and clinical back position is the treatment coordinator. And the job of the treatment coordinator is to act as the concierge for new patients that come in and guide them through the process of an initial exam, getting screened for their records, and becoming an official patient of the office. Again, no particular requirements or any sort of certifications for that position. And same sort of requirements for that position. Again, no certifications for that. But you want to be a friendly, welcoming person that loves meeting people, very organized, very structured. And again, any sort of business management courses, sales courses, marketing courses would be good for that type of position. Then as we move towards the back and talk about the clinical positions, there is the orthodontic assistant and orthodontic technician. And again, for that, there is no real schooling or training or certification that you need for those other than x-ray certification. So anyone in the office who's going to be taking any x-rays, any radiographs, any panoramic x-rays, any cephalometric x-rays needs to be certified in that, but that's just an easy online course to take. You don't have to go to any sort of assisting school to be able to be an orthodontic assistant or orthodontic technician. Some skills that are good for those positions. You have to like to work with people and around people because you are going to be working on a patient. But the main focus is very good attention to detail skills. We do a lot of fine-tuning movements with our fingers. We're moving teeth in very small amounts of space, and we want to get them lined up and biting together perfectly so we have a very nice aesthetic smile and functioning bite. And lastly, position in the office, there's a lab technician position. And that's someone who does a lot of our lab work. And so what's our lab work? Mostly it's retainers and records, taking the impressions that are needed to pour up models, taking the x-rays that are needed for our orthodontic records, and taking impressions and making the retainers that we need for after treatment. And again, we use those clear Invisalign style retainers in our office. Again, no training for that, mainly on-the-job training, but you have to like working around people, like working with your hands, and have good attention to detail skills. So I love education, I love mentoring, I love helping students on their journey, on their career path to doing the job that they want to do. So if anyone would like more information about any of these positions that I've talked about, including orthodontist or dentist, I would love to be able to talk with you about it. So if you would like any more information, you can email us at orthosummit, ORTHOSUMMIT, @gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook if you're on Facebook. Like us on TikTok. We do a lot of marketing on TikTok, so if you want to watch some fun videos, please follow us at Summit Ortho Braces. And you can check out our website at summitorthobraces.com if you'd like to learn more about us, see what it's like. We're always accepting applications for anyone interested in any positions in our office, and I'd love to be able to talk to anyone about any sort of career decisions that they want to make. Thank you for touring our office today.